A coalition of civil society organizations are making a case over the security threats making rounds in Nigeria by the United States, where it warned of alleged plans by terrorists to attack critical assets of the government and public places in the nation's capital, Abuja, thereby reducing the U.S. Embassy services till further notice. The CSOs in the World Press Conference describes the security adversaries of the U.S. and the UK government to be destructive and destabilizing.
Why is the misguided, misdirected security advisory coming few months before election in most parts of the country? Is it a coincidence that few days after the suspicious alert, a similar called the sack, literally speaking, was visited on South Africa? Whereas Nigeria leads the way in the West Africa sub-region, South Africa is unarguably the biggest player in Southern Africa geographical construct. It is pertinent to note that the said alarm underpins international politics, psychological warfare, scorched-earth policy, or gunboat diplomacy. This press statement has become urgent and compelling to warn and alert the public that plans are afoot to re-engineer the prediction of disintegration. That is, therefore, an auspicious movement for us as Nigerians to come together and fight against insecurity, criminality, and other forms of threat to national security and corporate existence. If anybody has grievance or grievances, they are enjoined to, as a matter of patriotic national duty, bring it to the attention of the security agencies whose duty is to act on behalf of the state.
The civil society organization speaking on disintegration called on Nigerians to come together and fight against insecurity, criminality, and other forms of threats to national security and corporate existence.
Without prejudice to time-honored social construct occasioned by persuasions, we hasten to state that the so-called security advisories by the US, UK, and UK government are destructive in form and destabilizing in content. In what has become a recurrent decimal, the US has continued to predict negative outcomes for Nigeria, of which the most telling was the collapse, if you like, the failure of Nigeria's state ahead of the 2015 general elections. More than 7 years after, their prognosis has fallen flat to on its feeble feet. Similarly, aligned interest in America predicted that Africa, Nigeria inclusive, will be littered with corpses at the outbreak of COVID-19. But history and medical records show that the outcome has been the opposite, with dire consequences for America and her allies. For the avoidance of doubt, the U.S. is preparing for elections and is customary with the so-called world police. Nations considered not to be in tune with their aggressive disposition are often wiped into line.